Quavo was on a yacht that got robbed. What up, world? It's your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit that notification bell. All right, man. So I don't know what's going on with Quavo, man. I think that something is telling this man to get his life together, get his spirit right. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because we just watched a lot of stuff go down in this man's life. Very, very detrimental stuff going down in this man's life. And I'm going to be honest with you. We don't know much about what happened. I'm going to talk about what we do know. And I want to give you my opinion on what's going on with this situation. So allegedly, Quavo was on a boat in Miami, a yacht, right? They rented out a yacht for a couple $1,000s, however much it was. We don't know the details. Again, I'm just telling you because it's very fresh, very new story. And it's developing. It's only probably been a thing for a few hours, and it doesn't have much legs, but I have an opinion about what I feel happened. So there was a yacht being rented by some people. Quavo is one of those people. Allegedly, the yacht went out on the waters in Miami, and allegedly, however long it was, the captain of the boat came and told the patrons of the boat that rented the boat that the time was almost up. Allegedly, after that, two of the patrons got really, really upset about this time being up for whatever reason, right? I believe one guy was named Cornell and one guy was named Antenna or something like that, right? I don't know. This is news report, so we just having a conversation. Allegedly, it got so heated with this captain and this patron of the boat that the patron of the boat, one of the patrons of the boat said, if you turn this boat around, I'm going to kill you and throw you over the side. Right? They in each other's face, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, the captain felt threatened enough that he had the cops waiting when they got back to shore. And somehow, some way, when the cops got on the boat to figure out what happened, they put Quavo in zip ties. They zip tied Quavo's hands and they detained him. They don't normally do that unless something happened that they need to ask you about in further detail. They also said that someone took the captain's wallet and something else off of the captain's person, which at that point is robbery. It's armed robbery. You ain't got no business going in that captain's pockets taking nothing, right? So at that point, they trying to figure out who did what, you did what to who, like who did what, right? End of the day, after some questions, blah, 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 Quavo was released. There was no, he wasn't in custody. He was there with a bunch of girls and a bunch of guys. They all left, jumped in SUVs. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know what happened, but I'm going to tell you what's going on in this man's life, in my opinion. And a lot of these rappers, they're super rich. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You don't hear about some of the bigger rappers who have a big bag as well in this much stuff. And one of the reasons, believe it or not, is that people's circle is very important to their success. Now, again, I'm going to keep reiterating, I don't know what happened, but I'm just telling you what it sounded like. It sounded like they rented this thing out and some of his team didn't like that it was time for the party to be over. For whatever reason. Or it could have been any reason. But the simple fact of the matter is when you surround yourself with people that's going to run the captain's pockets and threaten to kill the captain, right? You might be in a circle that's kind of may not be the most healthiest for your situation. I'm just going to keep it a buck. We just saw last year Quavo was in another situation that turned heated and got deadly over being in some niggerish situation and getting real niggerish, right? Bringing hood stuff to a place of business. And what I'm saying is, again, we don't know what happened, but I do know that they said that someone was detained and that the captain's wallets and personal belongings was taken off of his body. That's an armed robbery. So I don't hear about Jay-Z having people armed robbery over whatever the situation may be, right? I don't hear about Nas in a situation of they had a dice game or anything crazy like that, right? And what I'm saying is certain people reach a level of success and status where they're not having people of this type of mind frame that's going to jukes the captain and do something to him, and then now you the one in handcuffs when you out of bag, right? The simple fact of the matter is I'm thinking that maybe Quavo need to slow down, even if it's just nothing like, let me just say this. We all love to party and go out and hang out and be on boats and yachts and go to the beach and this and that. But at some point, it seems like Quavo keep ending up in these situations where other people got control of the situation than he does. Right? I think that's a fair assessment where situations are allowed around him to develop into something that ain't that good. Right? They was fighting with XXXTentacion, running on down on him, and it's just a lot of stuff that goes on in this camp, right? And in my opinion, as we get older, and I know Quavo ain't that old, right? I believe he's in his 30s, if I'm not mistaken. Which that's not that old, but it ain't that young. For me to be in my 30s with millions of dollars, right? At some point, I got to evaluate the type of people. And yes, you need goons. You need gorillas around you. You need people that's going to handle the business when it comes time to handle the business. But you also need people that's going to use their words and do stuff smartly. Right? I have no doubt that the captain, something happened because the captain of a boat, he's risking his own financial career by calling the cops if it didn't happen like that. So something happened. Somebody did something. Somebody threatened that captain with bodily harm, and he called the police. Now, everybody got sent away, but they do that, and then they come back a month later and arrest people. So we don't know what's going to happen. But Quavo was not robbed. When the initial reports came out, it sounded like Quavo got robbed. But as you read and you start to learn what happened, it's clear that Quavo was not robbed of anything, right? But somebody robbed that captain of whatever he had on in his pockets. That right there. And then they were on water. I don't know how far out they went on the water. I don't know if they went international waters or what. I have no idea. But whatever happened, that's now a problem. Because they were renting, and I believe the owner wasn't on the boat. He got a call of what happened, and he's the one that got the cops down there, right? So it's a whole thing now that's going to escalate. The owner doesn't want this on his, you know what I'm saying? That this is his boat. He can't have people coming on there doing anything to his captain, shaking him up and threatening his life. So something's going to come of this. It's going to be investigated. I don't personally think Quavo had anything. I don't think Quavo was the one hyping this. I hope not, because that would really mean not much has been learned. Let's just believe it at that. Not much has been learned about the high head snapping of the you know what I'm saying, jumping in and getting too crazy. I think that it's time to step back and evaluate what's important. And I see a lot of guys like ball players and sports and athletes, they get caught up in these strip clubs and all this stuff, and then something happens, and it's like, bro, was it really that important? 50 Cent used to bring them to his house. They would bring the strippers and everybody to the house. Therefore, it's controlled environment. We doing what we want to do, and then they leave when it's time to leave. A lot of these guys got so much money, I don't understand why they're still renting yachts from anybody. Just to be honest with you. And I know that's how you keep your money, blah, blah, blah. But end of the day, these interactions are starting to add up, and it's starting to look like a man that's out of control and not in control of his surroundings. And it's looking like a person who's letting people in his circle that are actually escalating things into points where now you're in trouble yet again with the law. So I think Quavo need to reevaluate who he's with and what's going on. But I don't, like I said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what exactly happened, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification. Let me know in the comments if you think Quavo got robbed, or he did the robbing, or he just got juked, or he the one that's all upset and he's sick, the goons on him. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
CLB.